Good morning, welcome to Chartroom. My name is Jay Song. Everything in this video is never financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. Trading in the markets carries substantial risk. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, and especially be aware against high leverage trading. Past performance is never indicative of future performance, and trading in the markets carries substantial risk. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, especially be aware against high leverage trading. Okay, maybe I said that wrong. That's fine. All right, guys, you who have been following our USDT.D map, if there's only one map in our crypto world that we can make, we can draw maps on price, we can break down the technical part of price, and that helps us position ourselves in a very strong way, so we can know primarily with a higher degree of confidence which direction charts are going. And certain charts are more important than others. And one of those charts is this chart right here that I'm looking at. This is the USDT.D chart. Now this chart, if this is going up, primarily cryptos are going down. If this chart is going down, primarily cryptos are going up. And this pertains primarily to Bitcoin, not so much necessarily to all the meme coins. This chart is a daily look at the USDT.D. Now, a lot of what's happening in the crypto world can be attributed to this simple chart, okay? Because this represents when Tether, which is the #1 stablecoin in the world, is dominant. It shows when people are leaving Bitcoin and entering into cash positions, or people are leaving the crypto markets and entering into cash positions. And by cash, Tether, the stablecoin, they're just sitting on the sidelines, okay? When this is going up, it means more people are sitting on the sidelines. And when this is going down, it means more people are leaving the sidelines and entering into the market. That makes a lot of sense, right? So I hope that kind of helps you understand a lot what's going on. Now, in the larger game, there's just a few big things that have been happening with this chart. And I have the advanced one, but I'm just going to show you with a pencil just so you can understand some of the biggest stuff that has been happening. Okay, this period of time represents like from June all the way to the end, maybe closer to November of 2023. Okay, this is the beginning of 2024. This is the end of 2023. Okay, does that make sense? Now, a few things I'm just going to point out because I had a dream about it last night. I want you guys to follow along with me. When we have structure, and we primarily do our structures in blue, by the way, but when we have structures that we can observe, what we can do is we can take a ruler and we can start marking off the general flow of price in a more accurate way so we can determine when something new is happening, when a behavior has changed. When price starts operating in new territories, we know with a higher degree of confidence something new has happened, something has changed. We can start predicting that this will stop going up and it will start going down. And we can do it with a higher degree of confidence. We know that when prices enter into these territories, we're primarily looking for bullishness in the market. Because remember, when this chart comes down, your cryptos, they move up. Okay? And we can also start finding when some of those bullish or bearish times, in this case, when the market's going down, with a higher degree of confidence, especially with our method, it's called sword method, using what we call as sword cuts. We are able to understand when it's time to exit the markets. But when this chart goes up, your cryptos come down, we know to make sure we're out of the markets primarily until something comes and something new comes back in. It's actually not that difficult at all to practice and to draw and to capture some of the most strongest movements in the market. This is one we put out publicly on YouTube. I told people, hey, get ready to be in cryptos because this is going to fall. And you guys saw me post that chart. Okay. Now I'm going to pull these up just to catch you up on USDT.D, and we're going to continue because I had a dream and I need to share with you the primary vision that I have in my dream. All right, the first chart is just a reminder of these angles for the USDT.D chart. I told you guys if this chart is following, back when we were at 5.3%, I told you there would be two bullish runs on crypto. Right now, there's going to be a third one I'm going to show you about where I see it in my dream. But right now, the first run was when we were underneath 5.3%, which is this area right here where I showed you a drawing just a little while ago. And if I turn back on my lines, you'll see it more clearly. Here was the map as I saw it. Okay, this was the line representing the bounce from this territory. And here, where was this one? Oh yeah, this one. And this was the other one. All right, this one right here. Okay, we had 2 weeks of round structures to get in cryptos, and then we wanted to be bullish. I said, guys, and who remembers me making a call, put it in the chat if you guys remember me making this big call. And I told you over a year ago where this support was at. It was along this pink line over a year ago, because the structures that come into these charts last years long. Years. See these old blue highlighters back here? Me pointing that out. 1, 2, 3. I'm paying attention to this. However, when we arrived, 2 times actually. One back here, back when we were doing target system, and then another one back here at 4.23. The number was actually closer to 2.7 on the underside. It's this angle. This is dynamic positive. That means every week that number is going to slightly rise, okay, until we actually hit the same numbers as these others, okay? But you know the angle we're watching, and I highlighted it for you in various colors, most recently in red, to show you a new structure was occurring. The structure I gave you guys all in dive was this round structure underneath here. Because when we hit there, the Lord gave me a dream and said, don't be worried about this line right now. He said, don't be worried about that line. We were still falling somewhere up here when the Lord showed me, don't worry about it. We're going to hit it. Don't worry about bouncing strong. I said, okay. And I told everybody that next week, right? I told you guys that very next Saturday, I said, hey, I think it was on a Saturday. I don't think we're going to have a strong bounce. So we need to still be bullish because this is going to continue to fall. Everybody remember that. Okay, MB said you definitely did. You Bill, if you called it months before. Now this one, if the Lord showed us, don't be worried about this one. I'm gonna be more looking for this one to continue to fall. Okay, I'm looking to get underneath here, and underneath there we did. The market's changed. We got a very small bounce. Price cracked underneath it right here, and when we got this close, I was now continuing the drawing, as you guys can see on the chart. That highlight, I'm going to bring it up so you guys can see it. See that big bright red line? That's that one. Now I'm actually looking for this one to come up here, and on November 26th, I called it, and this is what I called. And the reason I'm doing this is to help you, not to toot my own horn, but I want you to know with a higher degree of confidence what is happening next. Because if you don't know what happens in every crypto, that's fine. But if you watch this chart, you're going to know you're going to know basically everything you need to know. You want to be really good at crypto market, primarily follow this chart. You got everything down. Okay? I'm going to show you the next part, and that was from November 26th. I was taken off to leave. To go to Phoenix to go see my family. And this is the chart I left you guys all with. I tried to post it on YouTube, but all I did was end up posting the text. But this was the chart. We had came underneath the structure, and just in WordRoom that Sunday, I talked about us doing this exact move. But I said I wanted it to happen closer to here. If it happened closer to here, I was going to get out, take some profit, and then come back in the market here. But either way, when this one goes down, the color is green. You would say, wait, shouldn't it be green going up? No. Remember, when this one goes down, your cryptos go up primarily. Okay? So when we can see this one building structure underneath this angle, which has been built for years, here's the weekly look. When I see that price is now finally underneath this angle, I mean, it's even on I think it's on the monthly chart. So here's a look on a monthly chart. Yep, here's the monthly look. So even on a monthly chart, we're starting to be and build underneath this angle and get those closes underneath that angle. On the monthly chart last month, November. It tells us primarily we're going to be looking for this to continue towards where we're going. Now, where are we going? Remember, this is where we're going, and I'm going to show it to you. Here's a look on the 2-week chart. There is a curvature along this top angle here. This is what I call a key angle. I can collect multiple points from this area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This area may be hidden valor. It may need to just be adjusted just a little bit. But either way, we start leveling off around this area. So somewhere around here, we start leveling off. That's a 2-week look. Here's a 1-week look. And this phantom angle, according to our method, helps us calculate where the support should be, and we can verify if what we're looking at is correct. To do, all we have to do is take this angle and duplicate it straight down. We cannot move it to the left or to the right, so if you guys are doing that, remember with curves you can't do that. But we move it straight down, and when we moved it straight down, putting it at the lowest energy centers in the area, in this case right back here, closer to July 15th of 2019. No, they can have some tissue. I can't talk. Then what we can see is price bouncing along the line multiple times or very close to it. This line actually starts to level out until it becomes ultimately flat. Now, doing another calculation, which I won't show you guys here today, it's called our volume target analysis. There's 2 targets we can extract from, 2 primary types of targets that we can extract from volume target analysis. Some of you guys know that. It's in our lesson sword method 1 through 17. On our website, just type in lessons if you are a dive tier member, and you're going to be able to access that volume target analysis module. Okay. Now, one of the targets we extracted was this target right here, and that's how we knew with the higher degree of confidence that when we were coming down, we should be looking for a bounce here or another area of health. If we were to cut this, there's a small health right here. So we wanted to be out of the markets here, watching the markets go up and maybe buying back at the oscillation, which is the area between this. So that gave us a higher degree of confidence of what's more happening in the midterm. The bull run at that time was over from this older structure, or from the weakness I drew for you guys earlier as an example. Now here's something else. Now that we're underneath this area, the next target I'm looking for is this range. So I'm looking for prices to come here. And so on that day, I told you guys what I've been telling you, and I said, emergency update, take this structure seriously. You are now here. These are some of the last best prices for most cryptos before this last current bull run. Before the current bull run. Okay, we're in a bull run. And also a possible crash around 3.35. So where were we? Price was right there at the top. I even put a little arrow pointing right to where we're at. That little line, black line, here we are. And I showed you this small arrow, which just happened, and then the big move. And here's the 3.35. Okay, everybody understand that? 3.5 is down here. And this green arrow means that as this comes down, cryptos are going to be moving upwards. Get ready for a large, okay, as stated, also possible crash around 3.35. As stated over the past year, all that is needed now is fulfilled for the next pump to possibly occur. So now we're looking for the next pump. The first pump for cryptos was here and here, and we made that money. Or we positioned ourselves correctly, or our cryptos went up, or you name it. Here's the next one. Now we're under here. Everything that is needed for another pump, a large bullish pump, to possibly occur. Get ready for a large bullish move in the crypto world anytime from now. Then at the 3.35 territory, look for a possible strong dump, possible flash crash. This pump happens before. If this pump happens before November 29th or 30th, I will be personally bearish after that until all the data can reveal otherwise. Now that didn't happen. It only moved this far. It only moved from about right here, which we're going to look about in just a moment. So we have not finished covering the ground all the way there. So look here. Here's one more look. This is where I called it. This is where price has to travel, and as long as we're traveling here, I'm bullish the markets. We're only about halfway before we're there. Are we there yet? No, we're not. We're almost there. There's a top section here at 3.5, and there's a lower section here at 3.21. We are not there yet. So guess what? We still want to be bullish markets, right? We still want to be bullish cryptos until we reach here. Everybody got that? We're not there. When we were up here, that was the time to enter the market. If I'm going to be buying cryptos heavily, I'm going to be buying primarily up there. I don't want to be buying primarily once I'm here because I can be chasing the markets. So I have to be careful if I'm chasing long candles. I want to be looking for cryptos that still are in position or moved into position recently or are healthy that have not taken off yet. Okay? This still tells us there's still room to play. There's a larger curvature here. We can adjust it somewhere about here. And I can know with a more smaller degree of confidence, if I'm getting here, then I may have a chance for a pullback. So then I want to take some profit. But right now that has not happened. So we still want to be bullish cryptos. And I'm going to talk about this white line right here in just a moment. We're going to talk about it. But there's the main areas, 3.35. Now let's look and finish. Coin is at 92,000. Look for it to hit around 120 to 130. XRP is at $1.35. Look for it to hit around $2, as that was the main resistance on my map. Now that number, we've updated those numbers in the past few weeks. XRP now has tops closer to the next tops after those $2 were hit. The end price is currently for XRP around $2.50. The maps for XRP show XRP possibly getting closer to the $3 to $3.50 area, which we may look at in today, but we looked at it last week. So on our website, you have all those numbers. That's why I knew to take some profit at 250 XRP, closer to that area, and move it over into XDC. XDC went from 6 cents to 10 cents to 11 cents, I think it was, just yesterday. So that was really good. Now, this is the time many cryptos will have a second run, as retold back on October 29th. I told you guys all that. Okay, pray about all things. This is never financial investment or trading advice. And then I pointed here, this was the move I predicted on our website. That one's complete. This is the move I've been telling you guys about for a while now, for a few months. Price pullback just like we wanted. So now we want to still be bullish. Is everybody following so far what's happening? Okay, that's what we're looking for. Now, here's where the fun happens, because I want to tell you about a dream I had. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to draw it the best I can. So this morning, I had a dream early in the morning. One moment. What I have to show with you guys is going to be very good. So this is the dream, and I believe we need to pray about this. I saw price falling on USDT.D, and then I saw it go up, and it did this. That's not exactly right. I saw price go up along a curve like that, and I remember it was something like a curved shape like this. And then I wasn't clear here, but I believe it was something like this. And then from here, I saw price specifically move up somewhere about there, almost straight up. When I saw this curve, something of significance happened. I saw an image. There's a video game that I play that Melody plays. It's called The Legend of Zelda. And in the game, the main character, and I'm going to show you a picture of it, he rides a paraglider, and it looks something like this, okay? Something like this. He holds a paraglider and glides down. And I saw him moving to the right, similar like this. I saw him flying down, and the thing that he was flying and gliding down was this line, and I remember that line because I have that one on our chart already. It's a white line, and it's primarily has to do with this. And I don't believe it was as sharp as that, although that's part of it. It's very possible from the wick here, the core here, and the core here, although I can't confirm this because these have not closed yet, but I believe it was this line here. And of the chart, these two candles were underneath here somewhere. And I remember that thinking to myself, price needs to stop at that angle where he's gliding. And he didn't. Price was supposed to stop here, and it just shot straight up. And I remember thinking to myself, this is really important. And I kept seeing him glide over and over because I would have thought that's where he should have rejected him. The line should have rejected here, but it didn't happen. So he went. So now to bring up more, the two moves that were of significance were this move, this parabolic type curve shape, and that one. So this was important. This was number one. And this is number two. That's important. This move here is going to equal a crash in the markets. This one here. Okay, this move is going to equal a crash. This move down here is bullish for cryptos. Remember that. Our USDT.D map we read inversely. When it's going down, we're bullish the markets. That's why we've been so bullish. When this goes up, I believe this is going to represent that same dream that I had about XRP that went down, and I'll show you on a curve like this. And then there was another pump for XRP. This move will be bullish for cryptos, but also this one, bullish for cryptos. I believe we're actually still in this territory. Remember, we're still in that territory, so we want to be bullish right now based on our current map. But we're going to be looking to take maybe some profit, and we're going to watch this cool down for a bit. Now, this cooling could be underneath here, this white line. This could be here. I don't really know where this one is at. Okay? This could be here, possibly, or up here, possibly, but it was curved, as I saw in the dream. Okay? So it could be underneath this white line, and then we're going to be more bullish. It could be above the curve. But whatever case was, I saw that we had come down one more time, and when we were underneath this white line at the time, and then we just skyrocketed through it. Okay? There's a few more things we can glean from this map, because I'm going to bring them up again. Number one, where is the range, the 3.5 range where we're expecting the bounce based on the map? It is here. 3.5, that's the top section. 3.35, which is about the middle area. And what was it? Bring back on our map. 3.21 for the bottom area, somewhere here. This is telling us somewhere in here is where we're going anyway, and that's going to be bullish for cryptos. This will be bullish for cryptos, but there's two bounces. So let's take another drawing, and I'm going to show you now with our lines. So since we're headed here, and that's going to tell us when we can continue to trade, this is my thinking. This is how I believe it's going to play out. I cannot prove this. You guys, everybody needs to pray about this. And I promise I'll do cryptos today, but you guys need to hear this. It's very important. Here's the pink area that I just drew for you guys. Here is where I believe we're going to go. As stated before. Hold on. Good. Here. If a bounce happens, there's two areas I'm expecting to bounce. Number one on the top side, 3.5 area. And there's another bounce primarily here. The middle, it can be a bounce or not a bounce. I just know we're getting here. Okay. But two bounces can indicate two possible chances to take profits on cryptos and see them do some crazy stuff. The first one is likely to be on the top side here. This may be where that curve comes in, as shown in the image I just drew for you based on my dream. This is very possible, that curvish move, the bounce that we get here. Then there's one more bullish move when this one comes down, and it's going to be in this department or area closer to the bottom side. These are the people who are really anxious to get out the market. This is where the market's going to find a balance. We're going to be able to predict all of these smaller moves, by the way, as they happen. We're going to be able to observe what we're watching, I should say. We're going to be able to predict the curvature. Here is that white line here, which maybe need to adjust somewhere here. And then the other line of the market may actually be this one, that wick I showed you. And then that green bar is the big crash. It's here. Does anybody have any questions as I bring this to a close? This is the crash. I think this is also going to be a small pullback for crypto. This matches XRP dream. Go ahead. Okay.
Roughly what date in 2025 do you think that the green candle is going to come?
If this move yeah, that's a great question. The question is, what date do I expect? Okay, for this one. Okay. Which date might I expect for this to happen? I believe that if this move, there's two answers to that question. The first one is, if this move happens quickly this week, then we're going to see this all play out before December 29th. Okay? Sorry, somebody's drawing my screen. I believe it's going to play out before December 29th. That's one option. However, in the dream, because I saw this white line here, I actually think that this is going to be played out closer to February, because I think December 29th is the drop in closer to the end of the month. When we hit these is 3.35, is closer to here. Now the reason I expect that is because it can actually cover this distance within 5 days. I measured it from the first move, the first one that we had. It only took 5 days. From the time that we called it was 2 weeks of structure. We had 2 weeks to get in approximately. And you guys remember me saying, get in crypto when we were all under the building, the underside of here. But when the actual move happened, it happens very quick. So everybody's, oh, crypto's popped out of nowhere. And I'm like, no, they didn't. It actually sets itself up like a chessboard. In a chess match, you will see the professionals moving really quickly. And you're like, what are they even doing? The truth is they have moved into position. And once the pieces are in position, the rest of the game actually goes really quickly. Okay, that's how it is. When these structures appear, they appear to happen slowly or sometimes over years or months, but the moves can actually happen really slowly. However, the reason I'm not so in the camp where I'm expecting this big crash to happen on the first touch is because I believe they're going to reach out for the 3.21 area. And over the month of November, it's happened very slowly. So they're actually taking their sweet time. And every time this is going up, you're seeing the markets go higher and higher, right? So it's actually this time around happening very slowly. It can happen quick, but it's happening really slowly. Okay, and that's great for us, right? So we can have more profits. But there's going to be times when they're going to take some profits. And I believe this is going to be a little bit scary for people, the 3.51 bounce, if we get it. Now, we may be able to continue tracking this curvature, and we may be able to watch that, but I'm going to be watching just automatically the number 3.51 territory with great interest, because I'm going to probably lick some ice cream here. And if I see it going up along that curvature, like I showed you in the dream, going up along that curvature, then I'm going to be looking to get in cryptos one more time underneath that area, or closer to when it levels out, and I'm going to be looking for that to ride down for one last bullish move, and that's shown here in white when this comes down. I'm going to look for them to stretch it past here, and I confirm that by when I looked at the wicks along the major tops. The wicks are way past the lines, and when I'm looking at the actual support, again the curvature. This is a phantom angle, by the way. I can't label it. But when I look at its key up there, you can see that we pressed past it quite nicely, did we not? So that tells me if they're pressing past the boundaries, then I'm dealing with the meat. It's very possible for them to stretch it out here. But this is where a lot of crypto people who are novices are going to be jumping in. They're going to be jumping in here, because they're going to see Bitcoin hitting maybe 150,000 or even some higher prices, although the meat is somewhere around 130. They're going to be buying at 150, okay? They're going to be chasing XRP well past its targets, which is probably going to go past its target, but they're going to be buying at the top, and then they're going to see it do this wick, come back up, close, and then it's going to blow past all of those supports and just continue going up. And that's going to be a big crash in the market. So that's what I see. Jason, do you project the retrace up? Will it be the peak level? I don't know yet. But my inclination is we'll confirm the crash's onset once we're past here. At the time of today's video, it's around 5.5%. That's the curvature for here. So once we come up from this area and we break top, I'm going to be very confident we're going to go up, and that's going to be a very prolonged bull run. But it could be that we only stop here and then we come back down. We're going to have to ask God and pray about it, but primarily I'm going to be knowing what's going to happen just by looking at the structure and watching the closes along these areas of the map. The map helps us know what territory we're in, so we can really track it quite nicely. So I have a few things I'm tracking for you guys. Let's adjust this curvature according to my dream. I believe it's going to be something like this. So I'm going to stretch this line out, and it's about here. So if all this plays out, the timeline is around January 3rd, and if price comes underneath these territories shortly, we can play in here all the way up to the vortex at January 3rd, okay? I'm going to know before the end of December if we hit our first bounce. Otherwise, if we continue to play right now, it can happen all the way up until, and I'll show you the date, it's closer to April. This vortex, based on this last key angle up here.
Question, Jay.
Yeah, see this angle? Yes. So we can play in there, 1 second. We can play up to there, and the dates are close to April 7th. So this is why it can happen this month, but it's also why it can happen closer to April. I hope that kind of makes sense. It's a very little room left to be bullish, but we're about halfway from the big bull in the bull run. All right, Firecracker, you're up.
Do you think that pullback, that green candle, is that going to be the crash of Tether or just the market crash?
I think it's the market crash because it's going to directly affect Bitcoin. It's the number one manipulating element.
What she's saying. As of yesterday, there was $2 billion worth of Tether being minted last night.
Yep.
And this morning, the total for the whole month was 19 billion. So they're just printing away. That kind of ties in with what you're saying by the end of the month and stuff like that. So, by the way, Ian has his hand up.
Yeah, we'll go Ian and then Cupcake. You're up, Ian. This will be public on YouTube. I'm going to be posting this explanation and dream on YouTube, just so you guys know.
I put it in the chat, but that's what I heard. The number 3 and possibly even 3rd. I can't quite think how I heard it, whether it was 3 or 3rd, but yes, it's in the chat. So you mentioned 3 as well, so we both got 3, which is great.
Good.
Yeah, that could be the 3rd of January, which I feel more led to the 3rd. But also, before you even said April as well, I think there could be something to do with April as well, but I feel the 3 is more relevant to the 3rd. So we shall see.
Good. Okay. All right. Who else? Cupcake.
Yes, Jason. Many of us are looking to take profits on our alts, not necessarily BTC. When the percentage goes down, I believe it was 50 to 53%. Looking at the dominance chart, I'm wondering, looking at your chart, if what you think about the place to take profits on alt when that dominance percentage hits your 3.35 or 3.51. Do we take it at the same time as BTC, or should we wait longer until looking at that dominance chart? What do you think?
Really see the structure in their maps for many of them in a very accurate way. So I'm gonna say my default is to take them around the same time, but watch for structures, because not everything moves in sync, but there's a lot of times when it does. Some of the cryptos, they take off, and others are in they're both in position, and one will take off and the other doesn't. But then a few days later, the other takes off, or a week or 2 later, and others will take off. Such as in the case of when XRP was in health. SHIBA wasn't in health, but XRP was in health. It took off pretty quickly. But SHIBA came into health just in the last 2 weeks, or a week or so, and hasn't really taken off just yet. Other coins, they took a while to get in position, like Moog coin. Moog hit its target just yesterday, and it cleared its territory really quick. So with certain altcoins, once I hit our targets, I'm going to be done with them and just look for something better. Just like in the case of Moog, just unless I see like strong buying in the background. So I'm going to say use the map of each crypto. Use the map of that particular coin as best you can. And if you guys are listening to this and you have altcoins that we may have drawn on, type on our website in the search bar. There's a little search bar that says recent post. Type whatever crypto you're looking at. I may have a map. Some of these coins don't have strong maps, so therefore you probably want to use a meme index, altcoin meme index like others. Not the others.D. That's going to tell the dominance when memes are dominant compared to the other coins. You want to just see how the others are doing as their own. That's something you may want to use, but I would use a combination of all 3: the map, USDT.D, and an others chart. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
MB says January 1st makes sense because the USDT.D is supposed to crash January 1st because of EU regulations.
That's correct.
Is that correct, Superfood? What'd you say?
Yeah, that's huge what MP's saying. I forgot to add that as well. January 1st, Tether Europe is not going to be wanting Tether anymore.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Yep. Very first. So there'll be a little bit of chaos. We'll see how that goes. We'll just plan accordingly. But yeah, that's.
Yep.
They're printing more Tether, and the EU doesn't want it.
Mm-hmm. Conversation I had with some people the other day was how would the real big flash crash, and this is the one where I see Bitcoin at a penny, Bitcoin at $1, XRP back to 17 cents or even lower, things like that. How would that happen? Because again, the season I really believe we're in is still seed money season. Although some of you guys are going to do really good, some of you guys are making a lot of money, things like that. How do we know what season we're in? I believe that when we are XRP's hitting like thousands and things like that, SHIBA's hitting $1, that's the real wealth transfer. That's the real one. I know the wealth transfer does happen in stages. Just like for the Israelites, they first had to get the gold, and then part of their wealth transfer was the health that they had along the way. The Bible says that there was not a sick or feeble among them. Another sign was that their clothes wouldn't wear out along the journey. The crossing the Red Sea, that was a great victory. And then also furthering by getting into the promised land and receiving the benefits. So that takes that's the wealth transfer in stages. And we want to ask God to also guide us in stages. And God is also one who guided the Israelites by the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. And he would move from camp to camp, even in their disobedience. He still really was helping them to try to obtain this wealth transfer. Okay? And you could still cause it. And some people say the taking over the land wasn't a wealth transfer. Yes, it was a transfer of wealth from the people of Jericho, which was all in the land of Canaan, and bringing it into the hands of the Israelites as God had promised 400 years prior through Abraham and the Canaanite kings who knew this. So all of this stuff happens in pieces. So we can ask God, Lord, help it show us in pieces. Now, if the biggest piece is closer to the Tether printing in general, you guys need to know something. Tether is a big manipulator. It's a manipulated coin. It's like the US dollar. They just print, and inflation can run. One day, this is going to have to be regulated, either two ways. ISO 2024 coins, okay, or the ISO registry, which tells us which coins are regulated. And when the registry is all complete, there's going to be investigations that are going to be launched into some of these coins. And it's going to be revealed that Tether was a big manipulator. And when Bitcoin is revealed that also it's being manipulated or sustained or propped up by Tether, then Bitcoin itself will also fall. Now, if Bitcoin rises after a stablecoin comes back in, such as gold, or a gold stablecoin, or a gold-backed stablecoin of various type, or the XRPL stablecoin, I think it's the XRP stablecoin, which is going to be RXPL or something like that. Somebody remind me in the chat. When the stablecoins come back in, I believe the markets are going to what is it? LUSD. I believe the markets are going to recover Bitcoin closer to 8,000 to 13,000. My prediction is actually 11,000. That's my actual prediction. But when it falls to like $1 and goes back to 11,000, that's going to be a huge, massive wealth transfer. The markets could fall because of the exposure of Tether. Okay, and this might be in alignment with the dream. It could all happen here. It could happen in a more pronounced way, or it could just be happen based on this data. Now, here's what I think. It's just based on the data right now. I think we're going to see this bounce because this is where we're supposed to see it. Of course, it could be mingled with the external factors that we're expecting, such as the algorithms failing. Many people in wealth transfer communities, you're expecting algorithms to fail. I'm expecting something like that. I've had dreams where I saw the bankers forced to play Santa Claus. They were forced to play Santa Claus. They were actually tied up, dressed like Santa Claus, and forced to give gifts. Okay. And so I see, and I made a dream, and I put that on YouTube for you guys. I think you type in Santa Claus dream, J-Song Santa Claus dream, it may show up. And if not, it's on our website. Now, when I saw these things happen, Santa Claus is around Christmas time from what we know in America. It's very possible we may see the last of this bull month, and this may be the force to play Santa Claus event of cryptos rising up in a big mount. It's actually going to be right here, I believe, after this curvature. So I believe we're going to get a bounce. We're going to see one more big bull pump, possibly to some low numbers, but around 3.21 structure, we're going to be noticing something's going to go wrong. The algorithms may fail at those times. Markets may crash. That's when I want to be possibly looking to short cryptos and also looking to get in position with my low buy orders. So this is time for low buy orders here for me. That's where I'm going to be in primarily with my low buy orders. All right, a few more questions, comments before we close this video, and we're going to go to some cryptos. I'm going to be looking at some cryptos like Volt, and I'm going to be showing you guys some new structures on Volt, and we're going to look back on SHIBA and a few other cryptos we're going to be looking at today. Maria's phone, do we sell some XRP now? Yes or no? The question for XRP, let's pull it up for you guys. I took some profit on XRP as I showed you guys last week. I showed you where I took it. I talked about it. This is where I took it. This is my map for XRP. I'm going to put this on a weekly chart to simplify this. This is the major resistance area, $2.30. Okay. There is resistance here along this price of $2. Okay. Structures underneath this area is going to see prices come back down. Okay. Structures underneath this for XRP is going to see prices come back down. And structures above that range, above 230, could see us coming up to hit the all-time high of 230, or my prediction, which is around $4.77 to $5. Triple J had $5 in her target. I don't see us hitting that this season or this run without getting this close. We need the close above here. Now, in between here is just basically sludge. So I only put this circle way back up here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I put it on top of here. But this is, it's like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We're bullish being on top of this blue line, but we're also a little bearish being underneath this line. So today, this is a weekly chart, and I showed you guys last time, so you had this chart since the 26th. This is where the blue levels out. It levels out approximately still around $2.30, so you have the price. $2.30. Now, this is 1 day. Look, you got 1 day, 9 hours left to go for the week. If we're not able to close above here and we still get slammed all the way back down to $2.30, I'm going to be primarily expecting us to still get stuck in this area for a little bit of time, or for this to be the area where we come down on a curve. Okay, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to get the close above here, but I can't predict it. All I can tell you, it was at 230 price range is where I took profit, and I moved into XDC because I did not have any XDC at that time, because my XDC that I had was on an exchange that went bankrupt, and I shouldn't have had it on the exchange, but I had it on the exchange. Okay, and those exchange closes overnight. So I had to buy some XRP myself. And I had a dream when I saw XDC at 60 cents, at 6 cents, that's when it moves up really high. Okay. Now, as you gave you guys my report last time, I'm expecting $5 to $4.77, but it's very possible for us to just hit closer to the all-time high of $3.30 area, or $3.23 is the low of that range. And that's based on the other dreams I showed you guys earlier this week about the spike. Just look on our website. You're going to see my XRP dream about the 3 spikes, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm looking for prices to come down. So it's very possible it'll be the $5 or the $3.30 will come down, and then I showed you we come down on a nice curve. In my dream, I showed you we come down on a nice curve, and then after we go on that curve, that's it. That's when XRP is going to take off. So if we come down the curve now, we're going to be hitting it closer to $5. If we hit $5 and come down on the nice curve, like closer to $3, which is somewhere around here, here's about $3 right there. If we hit this $5, come down a nice to 3, I'm expecting us to hit the $11 target. $11 to $18. I'm actually more in the camp of $12. Okay. We also have the possibility of hitting up to 29 for you who are in XRP. Okay. But basically the resistance is us hitting a high number, coming back down, like on top of 3 area, somewhere around 3 to 4 here. And when that happens, I'm going to be looking for us to hit closer to 12, and then I'm going to take profit at around $12. Okay, and then I'm going to be looking for something bad to happen in the markets externally, like this, the USDT.D situation, and then I'll be able to get out. So I'll let you take a screenshot now, otherwise they are on our website. These are all my numbers. You guys can recreate my maps on our website, or type in XRP and I go of a full video explanation. Today is not the day for that. Triple J says could wick to 5 as well. Bankers paying out because of dinar. It could be linked to dinar. Yeah, there may be a dinar something. I know there's one prophetic person he was expecting moves around Christmas time for dinar. So every Christmas we're still looking for some of those signs that may be the case. Okay, MB says this makes sense because Ripple is the one lobbying EU to go after USDT. Wow, because Ripple wants its own stablecoin to replace it. I'm for that. All right. Any other questions? XRP, USDT.D. I'm going to place these dreams, a video on YouTube. So if you guys are watching this website, watching this video, I want you to come to our website. It is www.patreon.com. So that's jsong_7. And I'm going to show you our schedule. One moment. Here's our schedule. You guys can take a screenshot so you can join our communities. We have WordRoom every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have meetings 9 a.m., 6 a.m., and 9 a.m. again on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. You guys can join us all for those. You'll get a link about 10 minutes prior to each video, and we cover lots of cryptos. We do lots of maps for all of your favorite cryptocurrencies. On our website, you'll have access to our whole tutorial. So if you want to get started up and running, how to understand more of the sword method, and also recreate your own maps, I'm here to teach you how to fish, not to give you fish, although it seems like there's lots of fish sometimes to give as we're doing things together on Chartroom, such as today and our all Patreon. In fact, if you guys are just joining our community, you get invited to the first meeting at the beginning of every month, even if you are a member as just as low as $1. We do have the all Patreon membership, and it just gives you one link. Plus, you'll get links to any of the major public YouTube videos and get invited to every WordRoom meeting from our community. I think you can join just as a free member, or you can also get a 7-day free trial period for the dive tier membership, as well as the report tier. You'll get access to my Bullish list. This is the file. This is our Bullish list right here, and we talk about cryptos. I show you how to type in cryptos on our website. There's our website and how it looks. You just type in that post, and that's how you can type in XRP or whatever map you're looking for. And then I go over different cryptos that I've been bullish on, and I show you what's been added. I show you why it's been added and the targets and what's going on with some of these cryptos. I also show you guys some important updates, and you just scroll down to the bottom. You can see some of my last updates, but you can see it's pretty packed with lots of different cryptos that we add, cryptos that move into position and why. And they're just a quick summary. This is not a replacement for the full maps that you need to, but I just put a summary so you can get an image of what we're looking at for some of these cryptos that are on the bullish list, and why they're on the bullish list, and where I believe they're going to, and why I believe they're going to. All these images are meant to be viewed alongside of the dive live stream video. We'll be right back, and remember, everything is never financial investment or trading advice of any kind, but it's $18 for the full month. We really appreciate you supporting our ministry. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you guys so much. We'll be right back for our regular chart room video.